This is News 25 with Deanna O'Donnell. News 25, local news you can count on. News is brought to you by J.K. Nelson Law. Give them a call, 727-9900. News is also brought to you by Desert View Hospital. You can count on us.
Welcome to News 25 here on KPVM TV and Ace Country Radio. Today is Wednesday, October 26th. Well, the 300 Caucasian shepherds now belong to Nye County. Judge Robert Lane made that decision today in the district court. Today, the hearing was held. Today, testimony was heard in district court from officers, veterinary staff, and even an animal crematorium that defendant Vasily Platnov used to dispose of the animals. The case all came about when Dr. Suzanne Zervantian with All Creatures Animal Hospital was brought another of Platnov's dogs. This one missing the front paw and with the flesh almost off the entire leg. The dog was still alive and had been that way for many days. The dog appears to have been pulled through a fence, and the other dogs chewed on its leg, according to reports. The animal had sores all over its body and was emaciated. Dr. Cervantian called police to report the abuse. After a bankruptcy case was filed and the custody of the dogs was held up in court, that stay has been lifted and the custody case can now move forward. The dogs have been held up at the Nye County shelter and the county has been paying for the food and medical bills. The dogs are also not allowed to be adopted out until the case is settled in court. The ASPCA has experts and attorneys now on the case. Defendant Vasily Platnov was not present in court today. Attorney Tom Gibson told the court that Platnov is in bankruptcy court. Defendant Oksana Higgins is present and openly argues with first witness as he testifies and also after his testimony concerning West Coast Pet Memorial and how many animals were cremated by Platnov. Former Animal Control Officer Susan Ryhall testifies as she was called to the property to investigate complaints in the past. She says under oath that her supervisor advised her that he was going to be inspecting the kennels from now on after a meeting was held with Platnov, County Commissioner Frank Carboni, and Sheriff Sharon Worley. No charges would be filed. Ryhall says that this is partly the reason she retired from animal control. Animal Control Officer Brooke Gentry testifies about the animal control burial pits and the puppies found in the freezers. She says there were a total of 4 pits and that the other pits were never excavated because of the extreme temperatures being at 111 degrees outside. The odor was overwhelming, and when uncovering the second of the 4 pits, 26 dogs were found in the first pit alone on the Amargosa property. The second pit had plastic bags, and the smell was so overwhelming that they could not continue. The other pits were never excavated. Nye County Sheriff's Office Detective Daniel Fisher testifies about the freezer and the 26 dead puppies found inside them. They were found inside a garage, and some of them were actually frozen together, and that was the best count that they could get at the time. Animal Control Officer Angel Hernandez said that there are mice and maggots inside the garage with the new mother dogs and the puppies. He also says that the garage where the dead puppies and the new puppies and the mothers were so hot and there was no ventilation. He also testifies that the garage had no ventilation, and where the new puppies and the mothers were located was extremely hot and there was no ventilation. Attorney Tom Gibson focuses on a warrant, especially Captain Berukowitz, in hopes to discredit the investigation and a search warrant after the Beatty criminal case has now been rescheduled to January 9th of 2023. Vasily Platnov and Oksana Higgins are now facing 5 counts of animal abuse and neglect. There is now a motion to suppress and hopes to discredit this case once again by stating that Berukowitz is in charge. Gibson is attempting to have him declared a Brady cop. Detective Sergeant Morgan Dillon testifies about the dog brought to Dr. Cervantian's office. He says that he inspected the kennels once the case was brought forward and that there was many dogs inside the kennels. They were covered in feces. The water buckets had algae inside them. There were overwhelming smells, matted hair with feces, and also the kennels had many flies. The smell was horrific. It was extremely hot. They were starved, malnourished, and that Oksana admitted to him that they were having financial issues. They were being evicted from the property. There was only enough food on the property to feed all the dogs for one day, that they would sell or give away the puppies to get food, and that they could not care for these animals. Being that he investigated the kennels with all of the evidence put together, he made the decision at that time that the animals should be confiscated. This custody case continues, and we'll have more on tomorrow night's newscast. More news after this break.
You're watching News 25, the most recognized and farthest reaching local news in Nye County. News 25, local news you can count on. This segment of the news is brought to you by John Air. For all your heating and air conditioning needs, call 775-751-2372.
Well, the state of Nevada wants to ensure every resident can connect to fast, reliable internet service. To get there, the Nevada Governor's Office of Science, Innovation, and Technology, or Orbit, is reaching out to local governments. Orbit Director Brian Mitchell says federal grant dollars are available to help pay for needed broadband improvements. But first, local governments must take the lead by defining priority areas, selecting service providers, and submitting applications to Orbit.
We know that there are a lot of unserved areas throughout the state, and in order to serve everyone and hit our universal access goals, we'll need to be very efficient in how we use the funding. And this is, perhaps the most exciting part of the process, because it means getting better internet to folks who don't have a good internet connection today. In the Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act legislation that was passed by Congress, there's $42.5 billion nationwide for broadband, to bring broadband to people's homes. Nevada will get a share of that money based on the number of unserved locations that we have in the state. That number hasn't been determined yet, and will be based on a map that the Federal Communications Commission is currently putting together. Our share will be based on the total number of, it's a ratio of the total number of unserved households in Nevada over the nationwide total number of unserved households. And when the FCC comes out with their map, we'll have the opportunity to challenge the map to say, you didn't count this house or that house, you need to give us more money. And so one of the things that we want to do with you all is have your help in ensuring that the federal government maps are accurate so that we get our fair share of money. The state is going to receive the money, and rather than the state saying, well, we're going to put it here, here, and here, without, and basically doing the same thing as the federal government, we want local governments to drive the process and make the determinations of the areas that are most unserved with technical assistance from us. The County Broadband Action Team that Brad leads identifies your needs, will prioritize those needs, will go through a fair, open, and neutral and competitive process to select a partner or partners. There may be one partner for down south and another one for the north and another one for the more rural areas. And then once you've selected your partners, the county and the providers will jointly apply for money from the state. We have a mandate to serve every single area, so we're not going to leave anybody behind. Even though it's a process to apply for the funds, we're not going to leave anybody behind. We look forward to also partnering with county staff to do a lot of outreach so that once we build infrastructure, people have the tools that they need in order to subscribe.
And Nye County Director of Information and Technology Brad Adams will work with the county staff to coordinate efforts to apply for some of that broadband grant money. The whole process will take time. Mitchell says it could be several years before some residents will be able to take advantage of the better internet connectivity options. And it appears that some older adults have yet to get their second COVID-19 booster, which is of concern to health officials. So what's causing the delay? We asked Dr. Adishir Harami with Cleveland Clinic.
So two main reasons, awareness and access. I think we've done a great job with the initial vaccine in terms of awareness among seniors and also access. That has changed with the booster.
Dr. Hashmi says some older adults may wonder why they need to get a second booster if they already have one, plus the initial vaccine. He believes more needs to be done to explain that the efficacy of the vaccine can wane over time, which is why another booster is necessary. Not to mention, older adults don't have as strong of an immune system, and on top of that, new variants of the virus continue to surface. Dr. Hashmi says side effects from the second booster are very similar to those of the first, so there's no need to worry. In addition to the booster, he recommends those who may be vulnerable to wear a mask in public and social distance when possible.
Same measures, just consistency of those measures, wearing your mask, hand washing. We've seen that with the rates such as the common flu, influenza that dramatically went down. And a lot of it was because of these great public health safety practices that everyone was on board and doing. And I think that doesn't stop here.
Dr. Hashmi says accessibility may also be a challenge for some older adults if they don't have access to the internet to schedule a second booster, or they don't have someone to take them to the pharmacy to get it. He encourages their loved ones to offer help with that. News 25 will return right after this break.
You're watching News 25, brought to you by Mountain West Lawyer, Injury Attorneys, 727-9500. Also brought to you by Silver State Health. Visit silverstatehealth.org or call 702-471-0420 for an appointment. News 25, local news you can count on.
Well, Pat Lemming from Never Forgotten Animal Society introduces us to a very happy dog today who would make any dog lover melt just like chocolate.
Today's Save a Pet segment is made possible by Realty Executives in Action. Put the team at Realty Executives in action for you.
Hi everyone, this is my friend Rocky. He is a chocolate lab mix. He's only 6 months old. He is going to be fixed on Tuesday and he is up for adoption. He has had all of his shots. He is got his rabies certificate, microchip. He's ready to go home. He's still just a puppy. He does need some handling and he does need to know what manners are because he's lacking in a few of them. But a very loving, energetic, sweet man. He's used to having his own kids and he's used to being in a home environment. So being in a kennel is not in his best interest. So if you have a need or an interest in a chocolate lab, this is the one for you. He is a sweet, sweet guy. He loves being loved. He loves being involved and he wants to be part of the family. So if you have an opening for a medium-sized dog, Rocky is probably your best bet. We are located at Never Forgotten Animal Society at 520 East Street, Suite C, right behind Wells Fargo Bank. And you're welcome to come in anytime. No appointments are necessary. And you're welcome to come in and meet him and interact with him and see if this would be a dog that would work into your household. He is a very sweet man. He just needs some handling and some manners. So if you need us, call us at 775-537-8674. We open Monday through Saturday from 10 until 5 every day, and he is available for adoption now. And this is Rocky, Chocolate Lab. He's got a little white on him, but not much, and a very sweet, loving man. So come on in.
News 25 Weather Cam is brought to you by Lerner and Rowe Injury Attorney's Office in Pahrump. In a wreck, need a check? Call 702-877-1500.
It's a beautiful day out today, and I'm so glad we don't have that wind, but we're going to find out what's in store coming up for this weekend festivities and into the Halloween holiday when we return.
News 25 weather is brought to you by Dairy Council of Nevada. The splash of cream in your coffee, the dollop of sour cream on your burrito, the melted toasty cheese on your pizza.
Hi, good evening, Nevada. Delightful to see you. It's John Kohler from the KPVM Channel 25 Weather Studios on a Wednesday midweek, and we're powering through it, aren't we? Look at this fall weather, though, all up and down the map. Fernley and Fallon, Carson City, all stuck in the mid-50s, let's say 50, Carson City at 57. Pretty good. Tonopah, again, regaining the Cool Spot Award at 53 degrees, 58 down there in Goldfield, 70 out in Beatty. Amargosa, is it a hot spot? Not quite, but they did get 73 degrees. Las Vegas at 72. And Death Valley with a meager 83. Look at you go. But here in the paradise of Pahrump, the finest weather available. Look at that, 70 degrees. Current temperature 73 just a little bit earlier And our low tonight, well, we're higher than Amarillo. So we're the Hotspot Award winner. Congratulations, one and all. Sunrise this morning at 7:01 was gorgeous. Sunning this evening about 5:54 p.m. Look forward under clear skies tonight. We're going to have some beautiful star watching and a low tonight of 43 degrees and winds out of the northeast 8 miles per hour. Setting us up for a day of sunshine tomorrow. Look at this, sunshine, 68 degrees, up to 72 Friday, Saturday, even up a little more. We get to Sunday and we're downright, so it's reminiscent of summer. Look at that, 77 degrees, and for the next couple of days. Another weather system coming in early next week. We see the winds kicking up to 15, 16 miles per hour. Chance of rain increasing and the temperatures dropping into the mid-60s. But this weekend, oh boy, it's going to be just gorgeous. So enjoy it, make your plans. Back to the desk, here's Deanna.
Well, so many events coming up, but I got to tell you, the biggest happens to be that senior center dance that's happening this weekend. I got to tell you, dinner, dancing, costume contest, raffle prizes, 50-50 drawing, and it's all happening at the Plum Senior Center at 1370 West Basin Avenue. You can buy your tickets at the door or give them a call, 727-5008, extension 4 for more details. That is this Saturday, October 29th, 5 until 9 p.m. And of course, I'm going to be playing some music for that, so I'm going to be your DJ. Of course, the Spooktacular Halloween Trunk or Treat event, Sunday, October 30th from 5 until 8 p.m. And that's at my favorite place, AA Salon, the Master at Arms right there in the Wheeler Springs Plaza. If you want to find out more, of course, you can give them a call, but they're at 921 South Highway 160. They're going to have so much fun. They're going to have a costume contest as well. And of course, there's going to be so many other events, including the Spooky Eye event down there at the Calvada Eye. And we are still taking more people, as many people who want to come down there to go to that event. You can always call Barbara Thompson to make sure to reserve your spot down there at our event. KPVM TV is doing that in conjunction with the Kiwanis Club and the Rotary Club. And if you want to call Barbara Thompson, 775-764-1864, you can give her a call. We're going to be down there with everybody who is joining us, including, of course, the Nye County Sheriff's Office and some candidates and just everybody who possibly all join in the Calvada Eye right next to the duck pond. And it's going to be so much fun. We're going to dress it all up and have it all Halloween-like. That is going to be actually happening on Halloween, because we're that old school kind of thing happening on Halloween from 5 until 8 p.m. You want to come on down on Halloween night from 5 until 8 p.m. trick-or-treating down there. But we're also handing out candy. It's going to be lots of fun. I want to thank everybody for joining us down there. And if you want more information, give Barbara Thompson a call. And that's going to wrap up this edition of News 25 from everyone here at KPVM TV and Ace Country Radio. Have a great night. We'll see you back here tomorrow.